Hey, what's up, fam? Welcome back to the channel. So I have some closings that I want to bring to you guys, but first I want you guys to know that the situation is dire. We need to also think about what is going to happen in the process of them closing up all of these stores. Not just that the employees will lose their job and they'll become deserts in these communities. That's not the only thing we need to be worried about. We need to be worried about the fact that the people, the thieves who are going in and stealing and causing these stores to actually shut down, when all of these stores are gone, where does that leave the thieves? What is there next for them to do? Will it be home invasions? Will it be armed robberies? What will be happening? People have lost their morals. People have lost any character that they might have had. And we all need to be praying, planning, and prepping, because this is getting worse.
Never up, never down, never.
It does not matter how long a store has been open. No one is immune. Any store could be closed. So this is why we need to start getting our emergency funds together. I've been, planning that out all last night. And you don't know when you're going to lose your job. You don't know when your nearest grocery store is not going to be there. And then what? Have you stocked up enough food for at least 3 months? Do you have an emergency fund for at least 3 months? That is my goal that I am working on. I encourage you to do the same. I ate through my savings with my husband's truck last year when it was broke. And look, it's down again. And we don't have that emergency money. So we got to get these things together. You don't know if something in your house is going to break, your car, whatever. Please, by all means, start stocking up. That's less money you got to put into buying food when you need it, or when you're in that emergency mode of I don't have a way to get to the store, or the store is no longer there, or I have lost my job. These are all reasons we need to be stocking up and preparing. So I took some notes, and this is a Piggly Wiggly that is shutting down. It's privately owned, and the owner of the Piggly Wiggly is very emotional about it, because he really did not want to close his store, but he had been going back and forth with the owners of the actual building, and as far as the lease is concerned, and a lot of stores are facing that. Either, I guess, the price of the lease is going up, and they don't want to pay it or can't pay it, or whatever the situation is, they are closing. They were open for 13 years, and now they are closing. And this is in Ranson, Wisconsin, that this Piggly Wiggly is shutting down. He did say that he's doing everything he can to try and help his employees find other jobs, because some of them had been there with him the whole 13 years. And I commend him on, his efforts in helping them, but it's going to be a tough battle, because a lot of places are closing down, and some of them that are still open aren't really hiring. Even though they say they're hiring, they're not really hiring. So the question remains, what stores will be next? Because this won't be the end of it. And I have a list here of the stores that will be next. So we have Walgreens, we know, is shutting down locations. Rite Aid is shutting down 45 locations. And In-N-Out is closing locations. So I recorded yesterday about In-N-Out and some more closures that's taking place. I'm going to put that in here as well, so you're going to see a whole different hairstyle. But just note, these places are closing, and they're closing because of crime, not just low performance. And when I say they're closing because of crime, when all of these places are shut down, those criminals have to go somewhere. They have to feed off of something, you know what I'm saying? Because it don't just stop when the stores close. So I do want to tell you also, though, about a CVS in DC that will be closing in February. This is the Columbia Heights CVS. Shelves are already pretty much empty in the store, even as the announcement was being made. Why? Because thieves in broad daylight are going into the stores and stealing everything from bath and beauty products to paper towels, toilet paper, frozen goods, and other items from the 14th Street Northwest location. The CVS in DC is shutting down in February. They cannot take it anymore. The employees are in danger, and also the customers. And then some of the customers are seeing the thieves steal from the shelves and deciding that they are going to, well, I'm just going to walk out. One employee said, hey, you going to pay for that? And the customer said, well, he didn't pay for it. The customer stated, he didn't pay for it. Why I gotta pay for it? And walked out the store. So people are losing their morals, if they ever had any. Just because someone else is doing something doesn't mean you have the right to do that. We all have to answer to one person in the end. And it's not you telling them, well, I saw them do it, so I did it too. You need to be accountable for what you do. So people are losing their morals when it comes to that. I don't know where the world is going, but I do know that we need to pray, we need to plan, and we need to prep. There may come a time when we are not even allowed to go into the store because they want to protect what's in there and make sure that it's being paid for. And that time has already come. I did a video, I think last year or the year before, where they were doing a grocery store. I can't remember the state, but customers were not allowed in that particular store. They would place their orders online or from their phones, or they could go into the front part of the store and place it on the kiosk, but they weren't allowed to go and shop. The order would then be fed to the back room where the food was, and the employees will fill that order, bring it out to their car. So times are getting weird. I just read a story about Chicago, with all the crime and all the Walmarts that closed down. 4 of the 8 Walmarts in Chicago closed down. And so in those communities, they are lacking grocery stores. So they are food deserts. And then they have a mayor who somewhat seems a little communist. He wants to start a grocery store, but he wants it to be government run. Can you imagine a government run store? Will there be limits? Will you have to be carded to go in? These are all questions. So y'all, let's go into these other closures that's happening. So things are getting bad when you have Goodwills and other thrift stores that are shutting down in the United States due to whether it's poor performance or theft or whatever the situation is, not performing as well as they thought it would. People are holding on to their items longer than they usually would. Mostly the donations that these places are getting are little to none, because hey, I can hold on to these shoes a little bit longer, I can hold on to this jacket a little bit longer instead of spending money I don't have to buy it. So that being said, the Goodwill has been open for 20 years in Sacramento County at Citrus Heights at 7120 Auburn Boulevard. They are shutting down. Y'all know that I told you about the Walmart closing 2 stores in San Diego. Also just told you about Randall's grocery store in Austin, Texas, that is also closing. And now we have more closures, major closures in the retail sector. We have In-N-Out in Oakland location due to crime. They say that they have to close down. This location has been there for 2 decades, and now they are having to close out of fear and safety for their employees and also their customers because of robberies, armed robberies, car break-ins, property theft. This is why they're closing that location. And then we have San Francisco Center, which is like a mall that has numerous stores inside of that mall that are closing down. So that mall is about to be vacant. So the following is a list of some of the stores inside of this particular mall in San Francisco that is shutting down. Adidas, Aldo, Hollister, Now, Adidas closed on January 13th, and Aldo is closing on the 21st. Well, they're closed as of this date. Hollister is already closed. Lucky Brand is closing on the 29th of January, and Madwell closed on the 22nd. So more stores gone, more employees without a job, more basically a ghost town in parts of San Francisco right now. Y'all let me know what you think down in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And I will be bringing you any store closures that I can find, so stay tuned, turn your notifications on for that. And if you haven't subscribed, we would love for you to join and become a part of our family over here, which I call cousins. So hit that subscribe button and leave comments below, and don't forget to hit the like before you leave, because it does help our channel grow.
I've been giving you the worst.